Alright, let's get the stream started. Crank up the audio a little bit. I'm just playing the Dark Tide OST because I know that's safe and we're doing a 40k related mission here. Where is... There we go. I want to look at the breakdown for this mission and start the prediction up here. Let me go ahead and also just keep track on my computer. Yep, we got stuff to store. Alright, we're good. Let's see... Excellent. We're going to set for 20 minutes. I'm going to give some leeway to get that mission through. Oh boy, we'll see how good or bad this goes. I messaged a bunch of communities to bring people into this operation. They literally got like a ragtag squad together, and then NASA's like, alright, we're making you all be Xenos, and it's like, oh no. But they're all human mains from the Imperium. I even got Vix playing for this one. So here's the breakdown. Blue 4 are going to be Cadians. Op 4 are going to be Tau. Make of that what you will. There's going to be Devilfish. There's going to be drones. There's going to be Leman Russes. There's going to be a lot of crazy shit. And OFCRA have gone in and done their own balancing for this scenario. So you're not going to see like the 31st... Steel Legions, really OP Leman Russes that can't be destroyed. No, no, no. This is actually going to be very, very well-balanced PvP, and I'm quite excited to see it. So, we're going to go over all of the fun little things here. If you want to follow on, feel free to type the ! mission command. Let me just verify it's correct, because sometimes I get screwed on it. Nope, we're good. All right, so here are the objectives here. So, the common objectives, whoever controls the FOB... right here, by the end of the game, gains 4 points, and whoever controls the artillery ammo depot by the 45-minute mark gains 2 points. There is also some crashed Valkyrie crews. Blue 4 is going to be trying to get them inside of the ammo dump and the FOB. There are 2 pilots total. If they're able to do that, they will gain 1 point per pilot in either of those areas. They line up at the same turn-in time as the position, so the 45-minute mark will cash in that area, and then the 90-minute mark will cash in that area, and then Op 4 basically has to keep them out of it. We can see that this is definitely a Blue 4 leaning AO here because they're closer to the objectives, so Tau are going to be mainly on the offensive, but Tau do have drones. Let me go ahead and give you guys a breakdown here, though. So, right off the bat, I see some Devilfish with gun drones, by the way, on the Op 4 side. And then we have a bunch of line infantry, mainly with las guns on the Blue 4 side. A few bolt guns as well. Some grenade launcher and missile launchers on Blue 4. But yeah, Op 4 seem to have a lot of heavy stuff. We also see some Op 4 elements with ion rifles as well. We've got multiple heavy stubbers and AT emplacements on Blue 4's side as well. Blue 4 also seem to have a Trojan for repair capabilities, and I'm also seeing some autocannon chimeras on Blue 4's side. Trying to see if there's anything else here. And then a Leman Russ on Blue 4, where Op 4 will have a Hammerhead with an AP rail cannon to counter against that. And then it looks like both sides are also going to be rocking some Centaurs, just as some basic, you know, minor transport capability vehicles. So, we should be good on that front. Now, I'm going to be honest, last week, OFCRA did a Stalker mission. I thought the Stalker mission went really, really well. It was crazy to see those, like, 6 Monolith dudes hold off an entire, I believe it was Freedom Platoon, and not only survive, but actually just completely slaughter the Freedom guys. That was nuts, but I would love to see more Stalker PvP like that. Now we're going to see if they can recreate that with 40k PvP. I would love to see, as we see Arma 3 close out over the next few years, as we're going to start the slow transition into Arma 4, probably by quarter 3 or quarter 4 2027. That's when I'm predicting it'll be released. But, you know, till then, I'd love to see some really cool stuff with Arma 3 before we start making those switches. Regardless, hope you're all doing A-okay, and we will hopefully get started with this mission. It's going to probably have a slow start. Op 4 are going to have to deploy. along these areas here. We've got a nice tree line for them to work with. Then we've got some hilltops here to get into this actual area. A lot of open fields and some overwatching hills to the south as well, but it looks like we are in. All right, let's have a look at the sides here. First off, starting with Op4. We have the Devilfishes in play. You can see that we've got a lot of vehicles to work with here, and then we got the Hammerhead. They also have some gun drones to work with. Hold on real quick. I'm going to slightly increase the audio of the music. Let me know if it's a bit too overpowering, though, just so we can hear it over that wind in the server. So we see the ion cannons here, all the vehicles in play. That's a lot, though, for transport. And then we got some reserves with some centaurs here. So the Tau forces, it's mainly the human variants of the Taus there. Whoop! Squish. So it looks like the Tau already are having some slight issues here, but they're probably going to get that fixed. Looks like they also have an AT missile launcher drone, and then we have an anti-vehicle drone with those two launchers there. Actually, no, the vehicle would be a rotary, so these are normal gun drones, my bad. So that's what these guys have. I think they're going to get this one fixed. We're seeing them shoot their weaponry here. Looks like they're just getting that tested and whatnot. We have some las guns in play for some of these guys as well, since they're the human variants, but overall, not that bad. Let's go ahead and look at Blue 4. They're spawning in two separate groups here. Yeah, more like a devil flip, good God. So we've got some of the Cadian infantry down here. Looks like they have some centaurs. Multiple static stubbers. They're 50 cals as we know, but they're called stubbers in 40k lore. And a static AT missile launcher. Not bad. And then we're going to have the rest of the Blue 4 force coming in. This is where we'll see the Lehman Russ and the Chimera APCs. So we've got an battle cannon here for that Lehman. I'm going to be honest, that is going to be AT drone bait. Not going to lie. That's going to be slaughtered pretty hard. We do see some AT launchers on these guys. See some las guns, some bolt guns. Overall, not bad for balancing, though. Gonna be honest with you. Op4 have gun drones. I have a feeling the gun drones are gonna slaughter the shit out of people. I mean, thinking about it, like, realistically, just snipe the AT guy and then have the Hammerhead and Devilfish just go in and absolutely murk everybody. I think some of the issues we're finding with the Devilfish is they're deploying the drones on accident because these are scripted to be attached, so if they control the drone, it might break their attachments. I'm going to be honest, though, that's not the worst thing in the world, though, because you just have more drones that you can immediately deploy and use against them. So we'll see how things continue here. And then, you know, we've got some units with those frontal chain guns as well. So the Tau side's kind of stacked, not going to lie. I love what they've done with the map, though. This is what I would do similar to anything where I'm making 40k stuff, where they've kind of built it into the AO. We've got some pretty awesome tunnel complexes down here as well. This is the type of shit I'd have Valkyrie make. So I am absolutely in love with this tunnel design down here. It's going to make it a lot tougher for Tau forces to breach and clear this compound, but at the same time, they technically don't need to clear it out entirely. They just need to be on the surface. So let's go ahead and look at the artillery ammo dump here. This is a nice spot. Yep, we got positions all around right here. That's not bad. Some crates as well. Pretty good stuff there. And then looking at the downed pilots, you got two downed Valkyries over here. Looks like they're both... No, okay, so one's right there, and I assume the other one's going to be right here. Just got to remember, if Op4 can prevent these guys from being in the zones, they'll gain points. But if Blue 4 gets them in the zones, then they'll be good. How many players total? Good question. About 115. So that is definitely on the low side for OFCRA numbers, but it's probably sci-fi and a lot of people don't want to give it a try. But I am absolutely in love with how they converted this map into a 40k style map. This feels very, very 40k as someone that does a lot of dev conversions with Valkyrie to make stuff like this. But I think they did a very good job here. So whoever made this map should get a nice pat on the back for that one. We'll see where Blue 4 decides to set up their statics. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to set them up in these tunnels to make them kill zones. I mean, let's be honest. put that gun right here, and then you can literally shoot at anyone that immediately tries to come in by lining them up with that shot. That should be great. So tough PvP CQC for for Op4 to breach in, but knowing how OFCRA does things, I'm actually... Is there not more than one entrance in here? There has to be more than one, knowing OFCRA's policies here. Okay, so there's a second one over here. Only 2 tunnel entrances, though. That's usually OFCRA policy, though. Let's see if there's any more, though. I think that might be it. We got that one entry point down here, and then a bunch of tunnels all tied to this AO. But you got to remember, it's based off of numbers. So if both sides have a heavy amount of infantry in the AO, it just neglects it, prevents it from being cashed out. I could see them dragging the pilots into these positions, but we'll just have to see how that plays. All right, looking at the side commanders, Depso is going to be commanding Blue 4. Wombat is going to be commanding Op 4. I just want to look to see if they've tried to replace any of their vehicles here. Oh, the Devilfish has the anti-vehicle drones. If those take off, that's going to be funny. All right, let's go ahead and look at our breakdown here. So Depso has Kevin, Dennis, and Barrows with him. Oddball Killer J being under, I think, the platoon group for these guys. So we see them already moving the turrets in. One of these squads has Heartseer, Raposo, Gatto, Toxic, Snip, Daniel, and Martinez. Second group has Spotty, Overdrive, Nikita, Fair, Kaiser, and Nap. We've got the other squad here with Vod, Kodov, Neats, Nikita, 2K Light, Draper Hard, Dofue, Second Rad, and Ellis. The second platoon group is being led by Snodgebear with Fonz as the 2IC, and then we got Goose, Bursty, Wayne, Wise, Ghost, Roofy, and Guy with Rifle. The second mechanized group has Callie, Cheeseburger, Danny Swede, Henry, and... oh wait, there's 2 Danny Swedes. Interesting. He's probably a bot the way he's moving, so it's just a dude character. Third group has Phobos Krieg, Sonic, Jorm, Diolano, 2BT, and Tombstone. Fourth group has Vinny, Alex, Capito, Stalin, Jack, and Pingus. And then we've got the mechanized group with the Lehman Russ. Has 4 people with it, so we've got Wiki Quartz, Grishowski, Skipu, and Pulgrim. And then a few fill-ins. We've got T and Chevressa. Wombat, meanwhile, commanding Op 4, doing the crotch walk. He's got a drone on his backpack, so he has the LR actually on his back. NASA and Misano are taking one of the vehicle crews here for the Devilfish. Then the drone team is Rigel, Nubas, Mr. Cool, and Goatland. Their rifle squad is Ibnomane, Swola, Cuboid, Eric, Tackleberry, and Zixme. These are my fill-ins, so all the people I got to invite. We see Vix being the APC group with, looks like as the commander, so probably controlling the gun, with Revi driving my liaison from the 31st Steel Legion. We've got their drone team has Faculty House Logic, and Parthius mission just officially began. And then my fill-in squad here, it's Brownie, Virtual Scott, Django, Alistor, 12 Stripe, and Bash. Audrey Sepp and Gerald taking another APC. They're already moving out. They've got a drone team of Ventledge, Settler, and Fast Sugar, who I guess missed his ride. Nagi has Horst and Gerhard being in an APC with Vosberg, Willie Somner, and Pi. Looks like they had a dupe that they killed off. And then their rifle squad has Herzog, Rigel, Jokman, Mulzer, and Erman. Tau, Drone, so these are just some additional Trone players here. We've got Twig, Jasper, Solomon, and Crazy. Tau Rifles, Mr. White, Jonathan, Delta, Ilbanek, and Rizbo. And then they've got another rifle squad here, which is Watchdeck, Gregory, Brother Erectus, and Gargan. And then their, Hammerhead anti-tank unit, which is probably going to be looking for that Lehman, is Lolo and Sam. Very dedicated tank crew there. So we see some squads deploying here, and they are going out and about. Looks like the drones broke on that one. We got one being left behind back here, but most of them otherwise got picked up. Wombat, as command, is staying back here, probably to drive around with a Chimera. Fair enough. All right, we're going to see quite a bit of downtime here. Looks like one APC is going to be sent back to go pick up the pilots. That's going to be command going back to do that. And then we've got the APC group moving out here, the mechanized infantry with the Lehman Russ. But with how big this AO is, there's going to be quite a bit of downtime. I mean, yes, I try to be for PvP commentary. I try to act like a bit of a sports announcer here. It's part of the fun. I'm going to be honest, out of everything I stream, this is probably like the lowest viewership I get, but I'm going to be honest, it's fun to cover this shit. So, based off of the betting, I want to see what you guys are leaning to. But I'm going to be honest, like, equipment alone, with the fact that they gave Tau drones, and with the fact that Blue 4 doesn't really have anything fancy, not even, like, any Sentinels or whatnot, they just have a single Leman Russ and a few, Chimeras, I'm kind of leaning towards, Op 4 with this one. It's like they just lost control. I think they float over water, but still never a good idea to put your vehicles in water, because you never know what might flood engines. But Op 4 have a lot of armed vehicle capabilities here, you know? So I'm really leaning towards an Op 4 victory for this one, all things considered. Now, we both know, you and me, the viewership and myself, we know that for OFCRA especially, PvP can go completely one way or the other, but again, the fact that Op 4 can literally put drones in the sky and murder people, I think that's going to be, even if they're on Overwatch, they can just deploy the drones and then send them in and murder all the Blue 4, cause significant casualties in the beginning, and then just overpower them with a number advantage. Blue 4's only safe line is to kind of retreat in these facilities here, but we already see that, looks like one guy fell off of the buildings over here, I guess took a wrong step, so it looks like they're calling for a medic for him. But all of these static positions, if they put them on positions above, they're going to get slaughtered by drones, you know? So I'm immediately kind of leaning towards the side with the technologically superior equipment here, but it just depends on how things are utilized. But, I mean, thinking about it logically, just send a wave of drones, kill off a few Blue 4, have the number advantage, and then continue forward. But I love seeing some of this stuff. I'm going to definitely show it to Valkyrie because she loves seeing custom designs as well. Because this will help us for, you know, we've got multiple 40K communities that like to hire me to, you know, make missions and whatnot, do dev. So this is, you know, just some nice extra stuff to see. And I definitely love this tunnel design. I can tell they used Deformer to make it, though, because of how, not ugly, but like how crazy this deformed terrain is. And I think they did a really good job of covering it with some existing 40K textures and then putting stuff on top to make this really cool multilateral area here, you know? So I'm curious to see what our point differences are right now. We've got 13K on Blue 4 and 13.9K on Op 4, so it's even, which makes sense. You never know how things might go, but we still have Op 4 moving their forces in. Blue 4, I think they just rescued both pilots here. And, yep, they're out and about, so we'll see where they bring them. They might just go all in on holding the FOB and not touch the artillery depot, because this is only... If there's 115 people on the server, that is roughly a 58 versus 58. So, from all the vehicle crews and the infantry, that's literally like a full 4-squad platoon versus a full 4-squad platoon with those vehicles supporting. The infantry platoons for the Tau side are going to be smaller because they're split into two groups, drone controllers and the actual rifle squad. But I think if Op 4 does this the right way and we just see a wave of drones go in first to pick off Blue 4, I think this is going to be a slaughter. And I think Blue 4 was meant to really fortify this tunnel underground to avoid the drones. But standard OFCRA tactics are usually to fan out and take Overwatch positions, which means that they're going to be prime targets for these drones. So I think this is going to be very one-sided. But you never know. Because last week when we saw the PvP between Monolith and Freedom, we saw 6 Monolith guys fight off an entire platoon of Freedom. It was like 6 versus 30. And by the end of it, it was like 5 versus 2. And then Monolith reinforcements came in and completely cleaned them up. So anything is possible. All I know is I want to see more Stalker PvP, and I definitely want to see more 40K PvP. And get more people involved, because I'd love to see this at scale. But I think this is going to be a great test run, and if people love it, I am more than happy to go to the major major Warhammer 40K communities and say, hey, y'all want to play PvP at scale? Because we have an idea. Might as well have as much fun with this game as we can, because, you know, Arma 4 is on the horizon. All right, with that, I think the only criticism I have is the AO could have been a little bit smaller. We could have put more... Oh, looks like Wombat got stuck, so I guess I'll have to be teleported up. We could have made the AO a little bit smaller, but I guess it's, you know, to add transition time, to give Blue 4 some time to go get the down guys and put them back. And then Blue 4, you know, they've also got their own forces coming in. So I get why they did it. It's just, you know me, I like to see massive amounts of action. But it's OFCRA. It's a 90-minute round. We're going to get that action. If I were to make a guess, Op 4 is probably going to deploy their forces somewhere where Blue 4 can immediately start picking on them. And then Op 4 is going to deploy the drones in the first wave. Maybe try to find a place to put some of their vehicles on overwatch positions to start engaging from afar. But let's be honest, this is a massive kill zone. Op 4's best bet, the Tau, to get in here would probably be to dismount somewhere in the urban areas down here and move in, and then use their vehicles and drone assets to basically lock down any Blue 4 overwatch points. Blue 4, meanwhile, again, why they're going up on these overwatch points is so they can see Op 4 coming, but that's a double-edged sword because that's going to make them prime targets for, usually it would be vehicles, but in this case it's drones. It's going to be a lot of damn drones. And then we've got, you know, solo players running around trying to get on rooftops, but it looks like they're slipping. I have a feeling that's because Arma Stairs glitched them out. Arma Stairs are the #1 cause of accidents in Arma 3. True story. I think I've ace-healed people more for Arma Stairs than anything else in this game. Because there's a very, very small, I mean like a fraction of 1% chance where if you go upstairs, your unit's position glitches out and then tries to reset you, but in that reset, Ace detects you falling, so it assigns damage to you, which usually just knocks you out. Which number are the walls? What do you mean? I do appreciate, though, the guys that are making fortifications in here within the building so that they're at least hidden from drones. But we're going to see an Op 4 dismount, and then they're going to deploy drones. We already see drone deployments here. Now, drones are going to be really, really tough for me to keep track of. I can go into their interface, and if they're actively controlling a drone, then it'll come up on the map. It's just really hard for me to find where that drone is going to be because we have so many drone players. So there is definitely someone controlling that drone. It's just impossible to say who it is until I find that one player, because then we'll see the drone symbol on the map. Looks like one vehicle went back to pick all of them up. Oh no, it's the Centaur. All right. But we see that Tau drones are being deployed. They're already going to start reconning the AO. We see it basically staying on Overwatch right now. I'm going to be honest, this is a rare tactic we see where we see some sort of air vehicle just watching the Allied forces come in, basically to watch the routes. I wish we saw more of this. Granted, it's a double-edged sword because it also gives away your route going in, but at least you can make it clear. Usually what you do is you send this like a kilometer ahead to scout, and then it can at least, you know, be a bit of an early warning to make sure that, you know, nothing crazy is going on. But I cannot tell who might be on that drone because it would pop up as a symbol on the map. I'm literally just cycling through every name until I can find where that operator is. And it's not coming up, which is a little worrisome for me because usually that's the way I use to keep track of drones here. But it's got to be over the Tau drone operative position here because it's the one that's following them and it makes the most sense. Oh, I know why. It might be because I have to be in this. Yeah, you got to be in the first person. I forgot about that. So now we see the symbol. So anyone with a drone terminal that we interact with, then we can see the symbolism on them. So they also have more to deploy as well. That's what I was doing, Ron. You can't view it from the third person. It has to be through the first person, because that's what initializes those scripts. So, as I predicted, they're going to be dismounting in the urban areas to the south, because that at least gives them some cover to work with, but this is a great staging area, because you can dismount your infantry, set up overwatch positions, and from here, you can then deploy your drones and just be murderous little shits. I'm a little worried because we do have some 40k professionals here. The people I brought in, and I'm just worried that they're going to start deploying a few things and just causing massive amounts of murder. Looks like we got some forces immediately heading up. Where is that AT launcher? I think that is one of Blue 4's, like, saving assets here. That and the fact that they've got grenade launchers. We see the AT launcher is right here facing north. It needs to be adjusted to face this way, because if they don't use it and it gets spotted by the drones, it's going to get slaughtered. But I think one of the few assets that Blue 4 has that's going to really help them out, especially in the CQC situation in the tunnel, is going to be that 8-shot rotary grenade launcher. There's one per squad. When's the next IDF Syria map? John, it was only meant to be a 2-parter. It's done. It was meant to be like a drone op and then a tank assault op with F-35s. Those are both done, unfortunately. Alright, so right off the bat, we got plasma firing into this APC, and it looks like it disabled one of the drones. The other one might still be usable, though. I'm a little worried, though, because that might cook off, but it looks like they were able to get to cover in time. What's her damage? I'm not seeing any damage warnings going off, no klaxons going off, so it looks like it's somewhat okay. And they told me the cook-off was after 5 seconds, but would force dismount everyone. Looks like they're trying to get a drone up here, but I am seeing some smoke, so it might be damaged. So those drones might be out of action, unfortunately. We see some drones starting to deploy. Looks like one of them hit a tree while they were deploying, though, so that one might be a bit out of action, but drones are starting to fly into the AO. And then they're putting their APC up here. Kroot, they're keeping in reserve at the moment. Makes sense. I'd love to see them deploy more of the drones that they have as well. But now we need to see some opening salvos from these drones going and actually start picking off some Blue 4 elements here. But with some of the drones on the APCs getting damaged from a plasma gunner early on, that is going to hurt the chances of these drones being combative. I'd say you want to fly them up even higher. You want to kind of keep them out of Blue 4's line of sight, get right on top of their position, have them go into auto hover, and then just start shooting people. And it looks like now we've got tracer fire from the 50 cal starting to fire at these drones. Long range engagements firing. We'll see if they move that AT launcher, but it looks like they possibly identified this building as having a garrison in it. So if they move that AT launcher around, it's not going to be much. GL's going out. 50 cal also firing. I'm not sure 50 cal is going to do much against the Devilfish, in all honesty. But we have these vehicles moving out. A lot of infantry in the low ground. Heavy cannons also firing from Zixmi, as Kroot is now advancing while they've got cover fire here. That cover fire hopefully is going to keep that area suppressed. That might have been another GL round. I'm waiting to see if they'll move the AT gun. But they haven't moved the AT gun yet. I'm really surprised they're not trying to line this up to engage some of the vehicles here. We got smoke deploying here as well. Where is the Blue 4 reinforcements? Looks like they're still on the northern side. And you've got the drones firing down at some of the infantry right here. Minimal damage so far. We do have one guy dead, but he's all the way back there, so not a casualty of this fight here. But you definitely see the drones are basically driving around and harassing units so they can't focus on the main assault. That is allowing for Op 4 to get more forces in the field here. We do have a frontal plasma gunner, though, 2K light, so he's going to basically be able to stop any vehicles from coming in. He did have a kill registered, an aircraft kill, so he was able to shoot a drone down. And then we got smokes going off from multiple different vectors here. But now you just see that the frontal gun of these Devilfish here are engaging and suppressing whatever they can on these positions. So we've got more infantry deploying to the front. We also have that Hammerhead overwatching. I think it's going to be looking for the Lehman Russ. But Blue 4, with this QRF coming in and with one squad holding the artillery depot, they could come in and deliver a flanking attack to these infantry if they're not careful. But right now, Blue 4 are separated, so if Op 4 can defeat one group in detail, they can easily focus on the second. But right now, it's too early to call. These drones, you definitely need someone driving and then someone just spraying with the guns here. Looks like the drone just got shot. I stopped hearing the hover sound, so it sounded like the engine was taken out, but we got more drones flying around out here. Surprised we're not seeing more of these drones deploying. I mean, some of them got damaged, unfortunately. But if the Tau lose their ability to utilize their drones, it's gonna be much tougher for them to potentially take people out. You need multiple drones just spraying down Blue 4 positions, really just delivering enfilading fire, so this one that's distracting them, another drone should then come in and engage from the other side. That way they're constantly exposed and having to maneuver to cover. So the drone tactics here are a little ineffective. And by just pushing these single drones out, they're not going to be able to accomplish much, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and have a look from the drone perspective. If we get in, we can see that there's multiple drones up. There's a third one being deployed. I wonder where that missile drone is as well. We want to definitely see that one stay in reserve. So that when they locate where Blue 4's vehicles are, they can then take them out. We still got fire going into this building, however, those weapons are not the most accurate thing. Drones now engaging from the top. Good use of suppression by those drones, though, but we need to see more. That one takes a hit. And another hit, she goes down. See, because if the drones fly over this one at a time, it's not going to be that effective. Looks like Oddball took a hit, though. He's one of the platoon leads, though, so if he goes down early, that could be an issue for coordinating the group. His 2IC is right here, though. Maybe we'll see him wake back up. But so far, it's just been a lot of feeling both sides out, but we do see Blue 4 lining up forces to do a counterattack later. Did these guys just shoot at their own drone? Okay, looks like that group is going to be advancing. Looks like they're doing some suppression forward here. But we have that drone going low, probably going to, because of its speed, yep, gets disabled. Looks like they got the commander back up. But it looks like this is just going to result in normal PvP. But no! We got some blue on blue going on! Communication error actually just caused the frontal plasma gunner to get taken out by a member of his own side. You hear that bolt gun going off, drone flying in. We also, importantly, don't want to see all of the drones get used right now. We want to see some stay in reserve. That way, when the main fighting starts between forces, the drones can still fly around and harass the infantry as they're getting directly engaged with these forces here. That one, I think, just hit the ground too hard and killed its engine. You got to also remember, even if these land on the ground and the guns are still online, they can act as turrets. But I think that one hit the ground too hard and disabled itself. Because the guns are now facing, like, low. I mean, this can also be all fun and games until these vehicles on the outside come in and potentially flank. But then I want to see that Hammerhead snipe the shit out of that Lehman Russ and all of the mechanized vehicles coming in. But the drones, so far, what they're doing is they're allowing for a distraction so Blue 4 doesn't focus on the Op 4 elements pushing in. Because we did see long-range plasma fire and a few small arms shoot at some of these approaching Op 4 members. We also see another group now going on the flank. We're going to start seeing a bit of a concave envelopment right here. Blue 4, meanwhile, instead of reinforcing to plug gaps, they're going to go all in on a flanking attack with these vehicles, which could be quite devastating. You got to remember, though, there is a drone AT missile launcher somewhere, though. So if that is properly kept in reserve, we got more drones flying in as well. But if that AT one is kept properly back and utilized, it might be the one right here. But they could literally just pick that up, fly it over, and then as they're being attacked by the vehicles, that could literally take out 3 of them. So I think they're waiting to be spotted here, but there's no reason that it should be committed right now, you know? I think the most important thing, though, for Op 4 to do right now is to negate the ability for Blue 4 to use this static AT launcher, because that could have sniped some of these vehicles coming in and caused significant casualties on the Op 4 side. So far, that's been well done, even if we've seen minimal casualties on Blue 4's side. However, we do have a KIA up here, so one of the drones was able to get a kill. Yeah, now they're doing it properly. It should still be moving, though, because of the spread of that plasma. Actually, I need a lore master to clarify. What type of ammo do these guys fire? We just saw AT fire, but it was short. So those are some of the AT launchers. But what's the round called for a Tau gun? Is it plasma fire? It's a blue laser. I just don't know if it's technically a laser or plasma fire. More AT firing. That one looks true. No, it goes over. Damn. These guys got to be careful. I don't know if they realize they're under AT threat. But plasma would be more dangerous. I think that one, I heard a round, but I don't see an explosion. But yeah, vehicle overwatch, got to be careful because the AT launchers can be ranged pretty far. The AT doesn't have a lot of drop. I think that drone just got sniped by someone. That was a great shot. Pulse burster, technically plasma. Got it. So far, no KIAs because he's a clone of him. No KIAs on Op 4. There's been a few trinket KIAs around. We have another guy dead down here. Don't know how he died. Probably glitched out on a texture. Because, again, that's the #1 thing I usually ace heal people for. And then we got GLs firing. Django here just tried to fire that. That is probably going to insta-kill somebody, by the way. So, again, they're meant to be mainly anti-vehicle, but they can definitely be used against infantry. It's just slow firing. I just heard AT. Oh! So we have one of the supporting vehicles out here got taken out. That's our first casualties of the day for the Op 4 side. That was Pi. We've got more long-range overwatch from the Vespid APC. And it looks like Kroot is going to be some of the first in the fray here. So a lot of overwatch positions to work with here, but we see them running in. Again, good use of suppression on this building because this is the one with the AT launcher, and you want to make sure that stays negated. My one fear, though, is as these Op 4 infantry elements come in, we see this Grenadier firing. He's firing smoke right now to kind of hinder. I think he's doing it to range, but if an Op 4 squad gets under that building and is in the open, that GL is going to tear them apart. All right, we see these vehicles are slowly coming around. It's going to be up to the Hammerhead to be overwatching here. I think it is, but we need to see the drone guys running patrols as well with those vehicles to try to spot any potential flanking vehicles coming in, because otherwise it's going to be a slaughter. All right, we see AT rounds coming in. They're missing, though. That one fired over. These guys are trying to advance under contact here. Good suppression support from the APC. I thought the AT Blue 4 had would be a lot more lethal. We also see some overwatch support from drones firing from afar. But we see that there are not a lot of Blue 4 on this position anymore. They kind of started pulling back. So Op 4 are being allowed to develop much closer into this position. Basically what's going to change the game is how Blue 4 QRF comes in and how quickly they're disposed of. If they're able to develop and get a lot of kills off of vehicles, I think Op 4 is going to be screwed. But if Op 4 can use their missile drone and their Hammerhead to snipe the vehicles, then it's going to be polarizing to see where this Op goes. We have someone shooting at him from up here. They're trying to return fire with these rounds. Django does have a kill, but he only has a red dot, but we see the power of that weapon. We got more knockouts up here. This building being heavily suppressed. Makina dodging headshots here with that, with his head leaning in and out. And now we're seeing those GLs firing into here. Hold on, god damn it. Is that an ad in my fucking music? That's great. Awesome, 1 second. Oh, that's annoying. Alright, so we got that drone support still going. I apologize for that tab out. But we just have a massive amount of suppressive fire, and look, it is causing casualties here. So, now we're having that direct combat here. Op4 trying to move in, but it is slow. But now we got the vehicles coming on, and they also had the smoke billow to work with to get in position. Lehman staying back. Hammerhead now covering the left side, but it's looking a little too far left here. I don't see the AT drone deployed yet. We have a regular darter. Interesting. I don't know where that AT drone is, though. Let's go ahead and look through the drone POV here. We still have multiple drones around. And then there was another one somewhere around here, which looks like it got landed. More heavy fire coming in, more knockouts we're seeing. Brownie looks like he pushed out and immediately got knocked as he was trying to lead from the front. Then you still have this APC overwatching from the rear. I'm just worried about flanking attacks because these squads are also going to have AT, and they're going to start picking off these APCs. Squad lead is down. We're still seeing some good suppression up here. Again, the flanking platoon here is the most dangerous thing on the map right now. We do have an APC, though. Oh, it's Wombat. I'm going to be honest, Op4 losing ground commands might not be the worst thing in the world because these guys definitely want to just get on this position and stay in it. And if they can hold it, then they're good. But beyond that, I don't know. We're seeing Blue 4 casualties starting to mount, but let's look at Op4 here. So the actual Vosberg died. Pi we saw die earlier with that vehicle, but those have been the only two Op4 KIAs, whereas Blue 4, we're starting to see a few more casualties mounting up here, but it's not much. Things can still change at any time. And Op4's got to be careful because now they're starting to get past Blue 4 garrisons, but at the same time, this is where some Blue 4 are being taken out. And their turrets taken out as well. So I think Op4 is doing a really good job. Blue 4 really trying to rely on this flanking attack to do a lot. But with Op4 already getting so many forces in the field, this could change. Looks like Blue 4, they're trying to now redeploy forces to the front to plug gaps. Will it be enough? This Op4 group has interdicted around, but we do have two Blue 4 groups on the outside. So this is some of the mechanized infantry. They came in at a different angle, so they're relying on vehicles here. And now we've got the autocannon firing on the flank, so this group are now announcing their presence. Vehicles pulling into cover, but now we need to see the Hammerhead and that AT drone come in and start harassing those units. So Blue 4 announcing the flanking attack early. Will that allow Op4 time? Oh, we see! Immediately, Sam snipes that APC with the Hammerhead's pulse gun. And that is one vehicle taken out. Drone flying in, harassing the infantry, gets a kill! This is exactly what we needed to see for Op4 to counter this position. So now that the Hammerhead's going to be looking into this region, they might find the Lehman Russ. The Lehman Russ might have found them first. Shot goes out. They get hit. An immediate dismount. Gunner's now looking. They take a second hit. Plasma fires, but it might not have been on target. Another shot. We've got Ilbanek now firing with the heavy cannon. Trying to get that shot in as the Hammerhead's moving, but it doesn't seem to be on target here. Hammerhead's dodging fire and returning fire. Looks like by moving around, they're messing with the Lehman's ability to guide a shot in. They definitely buffed it. Holy crap, Ilbanek might have actually just gotten a proper hit on it. Gunner is still firing. We need to see that AT drone deploy. Well, we've got multiple units firing different types of AT rounds all around. Crew has dismounted. Looks like some of these shots are also landing. No, the Lehman gets cooked. The Lehman just might not have gotten any proper hits on this vehicle right here. And I think now that mechanized group is moot. Maybe we'll see this autocannon still be able to get a flank on that hammerhead. But with that Lehman down, Op4 are now in prime position to basically come in and take out what they can. So you got multiple squads coming in. I swear to fucking God. Now I'm getting added into hell. All right, we're just going to take the music out. Give me 1 second. That was supposed to not have anything in it, but oh well. All right, we come back just to see Brownie get taken out. Some Blue 4 right here. Looks like a big chunk of them are getting cut down. Vic's looking out from the sides here. Defraw comes in and gets killed. We see some double tap shots by Bash, and the vehicle gets taken out by a Grenadier round, killing the crew inside. That is unfortunate. That's what I was worried about, though, with these garrisons here. So Overdrive able to take out that vehicle with some AT rounds and gets the 2 kills on that APC.
Well, so much for you getting a chance to bail out.
You got mag dumped by a GL, unfortunately. It was, I think that was meant for like an AT round, but no, there was, it was Overdrive in that tower that you were constantly suppressing that mag dumped you with the 8-shot rotary GL. How many players were in this? 115. Oddball still, I guess, trying to hold this building. Well, I think they've got those AT rounds specifically for the rotary launcher, because the Lehman challenged the Hammerhead head-on and got multiple hits on the Hammerhead, but the Hammerhead still, like, 2-tapped the Lehman. Oh, my God. Bro just rappelled down, killed that one guy. Gets the guy in the corner!
Watching your stream now.
Yeah. Oddball on 6 kills with a squad wipe. Goddamn.
Kind of annoying, though.
We see Jock move in.
No chance to bail out.
Was it the guy in front of us that got us?
No, it was the dude in the
real quick, I'm gonna mute.
The dude we were suppressed.
Just because I'm trying to cover this. Oddball now getting on the rooftop. He's trying to avoid all these infantry, but 6 kills as a squad leader. No, he's the platoon leader. That got knocked earlier, so he's trying to stay hidden. Looking at the numbers from the macro side, Op4 still have the infantry to get in here. Blue 4 still have a lot of guys on the outsides there, but I don't know if it'll be enough, because Op4, I mean, we have one squad that's been mostly knocked out. We got another squad that's been almost completely wiped. So it's just the individual actions of some of the players still alive. But, I mean, look, there were multiple people in this building. Now it's just Overdrive with the GL. He's now picked up a las gun because he's probably run out of ammo. And the drones here are still harassing some of the infantry there. So they're going to keep them pretty much out of the game at this point. Hammerhead, I'm trying to get eyes on where she is. All right. So she's moving around the flank, but look at that kill count. 8 kills from just Overwatch plasma shots. That's not bad. Hold on, Rigel about to get the flank on this entire group here. Opens up with the grenade. Bounces above. Gets 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 with the grenade. He's on 5 kills now, got multiple Cadians smoked with that. That bounce did not go where he wanted. He might open up with another grenade now, as Blue 4 now looking in the opposite direction. Rigel does not fully clear the left, though. He does, spots Toxic, misses the shots, though. He's gonna now climb over. Daniel doesn't notice. He gets airdropped by Rigel as Rigel's going for a full squad wipe now. Toxic runs in, doesn't know Rigel vaulted, and that is now a squad wipe for a single Tau player. So Rigel has now turned back the tide, negating Oddball's squad wipe, and we see Blue 4 are now pulling into this final compound down here in the tunnels. This is where they're going to be content to hold, because everyone else on the surface, other than Overdrive trying to get some GLs in, but is unable to. Immediately Fast Sugar starts suppressing. I think Fast just saved his group from getting wiped there. So Overdrive trying to throw some grenades now. Oh, one of those grenades went far, though, and was able to get some kills there. I think that's the GL spraying, and we've got more guys taken out. So Overdrive going to be doing his best to hold, but we've seen some pretty interesting action on both sides. We see another set of smoking vehicles. All of the IFVs have been taken out. And we see that plasma fire from the vehicles from afar is now firing long range to stall the infantry coming in. I think Tau have the numerical superiority right now, though. Now we just need to see people come into the tunnel. But this tunnel is a massive kill zone. Let's see if Mulzer here can find an angle. Nope, he immediately gets headshotted. Oh, nope, only knocked out. The tunnel push is going to be the most costly part for Op4, though. We've got some Blue 4, though, immediately getting taken out by a mix of explosive weapons here. Gregory coming around. He's going to try to get some hits, though, but we've got Mosquito there with that plasma gun. Let's see if Gregory can properly identify where the contact are and push them. Gun up, Gregory, gun up! He gets plasma. The AoE of that plasma is very difficult to work with. We still got some of my fill-ins, though. Looks like they still have their squad leader knocked uncon. They're sticking by him. But Op4 now trying to send in what they can, clearing out a majority of the surface. It's going to take them a hot second to find the tunnels, but... Ooh! Otherwise, we do have one group possibly going over to check the artillery dump. If they can get a few forces in there, though, by the 45-minute mark, which cashes in 7 minutes, they could get some free points there. I think this is going to be... I'm leaning towards an Op4 victory at the moment. They're still shooting out the drone. Ha! I think overall, we did see some crazy action on both sides, but this played out pretty well. We still have the Blue 4 infantry to come in here as QRF, but they're being harassed by drones, and you see them actually double-tapping some of the drones as they come in, but some Op4 are aware of them. I think Tau forces right now are out of drones. It's just going to be a matter of how much infantry does Op4 lose in attrition, because we see that they did have a pretty sizable number advantage, but now it's starting to relax here. That might be, though, because they're mounted in these APCs. I see a +1 there. Maybe it's Vesper. No, only 3 guys in there, too. Oh, that's tough. Overdrive gets in a shotgun fight with somebody and manages to beat out the player right there, probably using the shotgun ammo in that, the rotary shotgun ammo in that grenade launcher to get the kills there. So now I got Cheeseburger trying to get a hit here. He's gotten multiple. Crew decides to bail out. I think it's cooking off, that's why, because they both did it at the same time. Yep, there it is. So they're now going to push those infantry there. Oh, I don't think it's game over just yet. We still got players like Overdrive. He's stolen a rail rifle, and he just got a kill on one of the Tau players. I'm going to be honest, if Overdrive can continue these shenanigans and rack up that kill count, he could knock the balance back on to Blue 4. Oh, this could go either way. 1 second. I'm going to tab out and try to find... I'm just going to back up my music here, just to reset it so there's hopefully no ads. All right, Op4, meanwhile, they're going to be pushing into this Titan Warhound facility here, which looks like had a few things collapse in it. But now we got this Blue 4 infantry arriving as QRF. Op4, again, I'm a little worried that they've expunged a bit too much of their infantry here, but we still have some drones on people's backs, so they might still be able to utilize stuff. That guy had a negative air kill because I think he accidentally crashed the drone. Mr. Cool isn't able to vault that wall in time and gets knocked. Looks like they brought Brownie back. They're still trying to find a medic for him. But yeah, this vehicle's probably being ordered to now go into this position. He still has a few minutes, and then he'll come back later, so that's going to be points on the board for Op4. Once again, only a handful of people come up to overdrive, and he is now on 8 kills. They're just trickling up to his position, and he is taking them out every single time. Vintage here trying to get some kills on the Blue 4 members here as Op4 pushing them from a different direction. Gerald tries to line up a shot, unable to get a hit. Grenade goes back. Oh, might get the twig. Nope. He gets away, and he's taken out by Gerald there. Callie's still forward here using that bolt gun. I know, we need to also see... Okay, so Mr. Cool got back up. T's coming up, though. He's going to catch him napping. A grenade goes in. Goatland and Mr. Cool at risk. Zixme. Oh, it gets them both. Funny enough, Zixme was trying to run over here, but Goatland, by pushing Zixme back, was able to save him. Great grenade there. Op4 still trying to secure the surface as this QRF moves in. The 2 shooters down here have been taken out. And we got Gregory over here. Look at this wipe of infantry. Gregory was able to wake back up and take out the Blue 4 element right here when he was knocked out earlier. We've got more Op4 now trickling into this building of this freaking Tau kill zone. And Overdrive gets headshotted. And why did the other guy run into the dude's line of fire? What the... Amazing. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's exclamation point mission. I forgot to list them. Get a kill, lose a kill. They're popping grenades up here to see if there's any other Blue 4 to take out. That's fair. But looking at the macros... Uh-oh. Whoop. Lag spike there. I thought I crashed out. Tau is winning. They're going to get the first points on the board because they got Op4 from the Hammerhead in the artillery dump. That's going to be cashed in about 2 minutes. Nubash trying to kill Wise. They're shooting through the building. Oh my god. So Nubash brought the bodies in to try to work on them. They were already dead. Zixme pulled back, though. T pulls back. He was able to get back up. Zixme gets a kill, trying to hit T2. He realizes he can take out all the buildings with it, so he's trying to get rid of T's cover. Beautiful. Yeah, I still got some crew guys up. Brownie was able to be brought back. Awesome. But hey, to all of my fill-in players from all the different Arma 3 communities that came in from the 40K side, I appreciate you coming, guys. This, I'm going to be honest, was better than average for OFCRA play. I'd love to see them refine this, though. Because that Lehman got multiple shots on the Hammerhead, and the Hammerhead kind of laughed and then 2-tapped the Lehman. Though I will say a lot of the Lehman's rounds missed, too, so... C'est la vie.
More is right within
See, this is... I don't know why. This thing, I scrubbed it from ads, and now it's filled with fucking ads, and I'm so annoyed that that happens. Oh, well. All right, hold up. Cashed in... So everything completed by East. So that is 2 points on the board for that, and then 2 points for the ammo dump. So the only way Blue 4 can now win is if they hold this final position and they have the VIPs in this area here, which are those pilots. We see some people that went down here already were killed off, though. But the question is, where are those VIPs located? Because I don't know. We got to find where they stashed those pilots. All right, yeah, so they're both down here in the compound. So Op4 is basically just going to, Blue 4 is going to hold the tunnel and do their best to keep it. Looks like 2K Light might have woken back up. 12 Strife gets knocked out. No, it was by T. And Brownie and Bash don't know where that shooter was from. T's locking the position down. Suppressive fire going out. Bash spots the target. T unable to line up a shot. That was super risky, but Bash did get the kill. Amazing. Zixme now going on the flank. That Blue 4 group's been knocked out. We got one more group of 4 coming in. But Blue 4 is kind of trickling in at this point. I think Op4 might have this. It's just going to be a matter of how much attrition damage they can take. Chat, if you do me a favor, can you go look up the Darktide OST and give me a really fun, like, one of those funky Darktide songs to play? I think that would be really fit for right now. if you wouldn't mind. I'd love to have some background music. I just gotta loop it once. But look at that. We got all these Op 4 players here. They're popping smoke to try to cover themselves. This would be another good spot where you can throw a drone in, but I think these guys are out of drones at this point. Now they're trying to run through to see if there's any smoke. Oh, good shot by Vent there, knocking out Vov. And we got the other Blue 4 guys now pulling back because they were scared of that charge. But yeah, get me a name of a song so I can loop it. I would really appreciate that, guys. But yeah, with one of those breaches being taken out, we got more grenades being thrown. That's another thing. I wish, I don't think the grenades can reach back here. That's the issue. And it looks like they're dead on impact, so there's not much they can do. They just got to find a good way to maneuver in. Yeah, good luck, Shark. Looks like they're trying to get medical. They pop smokes into here. But now you got the Tau forces coming in. This is where you want to get up here and then throw grenades on. But he doesn't get the chance. You got the pulse shotgun going. And this side has fallen. So now it's only these 3 guys down here. Oh my god. The other group trying to find another angle, but these guys are basically going to kill these 3 Blue 4 from the back. I think it's GG. A Tau greater good victory. I don't think either side misplayed this game, though. I think both sides had a really good strategy. It just went to the fact that the Hammerhead was really, really powerful. Yeah, I would say next time maybe shorten the tunnel so it can be, like, grenade breached for balance, because otherwise you're just trying to overpower. But as soon as these guys go down the hallway, they're going to find that there's fire coming out from this position. Yeah, of course, Vix, of course. I was hoping that the AT drone would be effective, but... Oh, it bugged out? That's a shame. But hey, I mean, again, this was a pretty good test. Depso's gonna corner camp. A few more Blue 4 guys on the northern side. We just heard AT fire. Ah, because they're trying to do a guy with rifles camping that building. Thanks, Commissar. I just needed like a single son. Oh, the shotgun gunner goes in and gets the double tap. Depso now comes out with his bolt gun. Trying to hold them off. It's rare to see a shotgun so effective in PvP. Oh, and it gets the kill again. And that is it. That is Blue 4 fully cleared from this position. All we have are these 4 players here. We still have the knockout on 2K Light. He's been on con for a while. And the guy with rifle holding that spot. But I'm pretty sure this is just going to be a solid Op 4 victory. We got the 2 pilots right here. I'm waiting to see if they get noticed. I know, right? A shotgun that worked in Arma 3. Crazy. Oh. Demovar found them. They're executed, and that is GG. Because that's going to mean they're technically not in the zone. It might still glitch out and count them, but it's not supposed to. And then we just have what's left over here. GG, well played. All right, let's see what Alistair sent me. So I just wanted a single. Yeah, so I don't. Hold on, wait. That might be a single. Yes. I should have just played this one looped from the get-go, but oh well. So guy with rifle. I mean, we saw people wipe an entire squad, so it's technically not over yet. This is honestly the exact one I was thinking of. I just didn't know the name. But it's Night Runner or Night Strider or something. Hopefully that's not blue on blue. No, they're just finishing off the pilots. Blue 4 down to 5 remaining. I'm going to be honest, even though the drones were definitely on one side, I don't think they changed the balance that much. What really changed the balance was the Hammerhead. Though I think the Hammerhead should have been dead to rights by the Lehman. because the Lehman did get some solid shots on her, it didn't really look like it did much. So it was either weak hits or the Lehman really did just miss. Ow! Ilbanek finds another dude. I guess that was his first kill. Hold on. He's waiting. He wants to see if they're going to go up to the body and check it. Yeah, Depso. That was the point, though. That's how spam drones. The drones only got like 1 or 2 kills, though. But they were definitely harassment. Oh, God. Oh, God, the Hammerhead. Oh. The Hammerhead just annihilated one guy. Plasma's returning fire. Lolo does not seem to care, though. All right, it's Skipu and Guy with Rifle. This is going to be done within an hour, though. Nice. I'm going to be honest. I love this. I'd love to get more people involved in this. I just don't know how people are going to feel. They're going to probably find something to bitch about. But I thought at least balance-wise it was good. Because Blue 4, they could have fallen back in the tunnel and made that like a murder hole like what normally happens in PvP. But we saw multiple instances of guys getting behind other guys. Not just on one side, but we saw like 2 entire Tau squads get wiped. And then 2 entire like Blue 4 Cadian groups get wiped. Skipu's coming for Ilbanek. Great minds think alike when you have that big-ass rifle, don't you? Don't you know? Ian, buddy, it's Twitch Ian. How you doing? Bro, you missed it. Cadia kind of got their asses handed to them by the Tau, but we got 2 Blue 4 guys still alive fighting for their lives here. How you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a hot second. Hope you're doing okay. Guys, that's Twitch Ian. Twitch Ian, make sure I don't get into too much trouble. Wait, I want to see if Ilbanek realizes that that's coming from his spot. He might think because it's a Tau rifle. He's going to see where those rounds are going and realize that might be friendly. Uh-oh. Guy with rifle assassinating Op4 command. Oh, shit, but Skipu got spotted and taken out. And Ilbanek up here is like, huh? What? He just sees the friendlies down there. Oh, now they're shooting at Ilbanek, though, maybe. I know you lurk. We see you on occasion, but run, it's the fuzz. Guy with rifle. All right, I'm going to say it. Can Guy with rifle channel his inner God Emperor? See, I'm theming it. And win the match so Cadia does not explode as a planet? Let's find out. He's surrounded by Tau. No, I didn't say Adriano. I said... Oh, shit. I just said Adriano. Okay. Well. Oh, God. The shotgun. Did he just get shot at from a shotgun from across the fence? That's amazing. Guy with rifle. Use grenade. Wait, no. It's... Oh, fuck. That's a melt-a-bomb. Well, bye, guy with rifle. It was fun knowing you. Oh, shit. The building survived? Oh. Never mind, he's dead. And that is GG. Op4 got a perfect score. Unironically, Tau got a perfect score. And now even the Hammerhead's firing in there. All right, guys. That was dope. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. We'll be back in 3.5 hours for the next POG operation, and I will find some more mission dev to do as well. Otherwise, cheers, guys. Have a good one. This was actually definitely one of the more action-packed OFCRA missions I've covered, so that was great despite the music technical difficulties of even shooting at each other, but damn. All right, cheers, guys. Have a good one.